Hello to all our travel advisor friends. Greeting from Groundhog Day here at the Royal Caribbean Group. You know, as I was preparing this video, I got to thinking about the saying that it's darkest before the dawn. It made me question whether that expression was literally true or only metaphorically true. And I decided to research it on the web. As is so often the case, I got very convincing answers in both directions. I read arguments about the definition of dawn, learned commentary on how light refracts, and detailed discussions about the meaning of darkness. In the end, I came away convinced, absolutely convinced, of two things. First, it may or may not be true that the moment before dawn is darker than any other period during the night. And B, whether or not it is literally true, it certainly seems like it is. Today, we're in the middle of a very dark period. Confirmed infections in the U.S. are running over 200,000 per day, and fatalities are approaching 3,000 a day. Our communities are locking back up. It's a mess, and we're not at the end of this spike. We have lots and lots more pain to come through before it turns. This upsurge is particularly frustrating because we and the experts have been so consistently wrong about this virus. It's a sneaky virus. The modality and the ease of transmission are very different from anything the medical establishment has seen or expected. And the new testing and medications aren't curbing the spread as quickly as so many had anticipated. We're now performing over 2 million tests a day, and still the virus keeps spreading. We had hoped that the combination of tests, protective protocols, and treatments would enable a restart of cruising as early as this month. But the scale of the spread and the reaction to the increased prevalence throughout the country has made that impossible. On the other hand, the arrival of highly efficacious vaccines is a game changer. Yippee! I've repeatedly referred to the vaccines as the ultimate weapon against COVID-19. And now they're here. Now we don't have to rely solely on testing and health protocols to enable society to open up. Now, finally, we have vaccines to lead the battle against COVID. The vaccines will bring down the prevalence of COVID-19 in society to a much more manageable level. They will protect those who are most vulnerable, and they will make the consequences of getting the disease less severe. All of this is going to enable society to open back up. Now, we all know it's not going to be an immediate fix. It will take some time, but finally we can see a more clearly defined timeline. The vaccines won't instantly provide herd immunity, but they will reduce the prevalence of COVID, and that will allow us to resume our lives much faster. And when the turn comes, it's pretty clear to me that it will come quickly. Right now, the cases seem to be growing rapidly, and it's hard not to think that they will continue to grow indefinitely. But they won't. They will reach a peak, and then they will start to fall just as fast as they rose. Obviously, as the cases fall, society, including our cruises, will begin to open up, and I believe that the demand will grow quickly. People are tired and frustrated, and they want to get away from this Groundhog Day experience. The demand for new experiences will blossom. Previously, we expected cruising to resume based on creating a virtual bubble of safety on a ship, even if the rest of the country was experiencing significant spread. Vaccines change all that. Today, we envision that the key, but not the exclusive factor, will be the vaccines rather than purely the protocols. Not to say that the protocols are irrelevant. For example, we just had a guest test positive on one of our early sailings out of Singapore. However, in this case, the protocols and collaboration with the Singaporean authorities resulted in swift containment of any potential COVID threat, some guest inconvenience, and a recognition that working together, our cruises can operate and deliver great experiences. It turns out there was no outbreak and only limited disruption. We did shorten the cruise by a day, but as we all gain experiences with such logistics, even this kind of thing won't be necessary. Now, as it turned out, the guest was retested and tested negative. He didn't have COVID, but the false positive gave us a real-world chance to test our procedures, and they performed well. They demonstrated how effective good preparation and strong cooperation can be. As we said before, such experiences really allow us to test our processes and prepare better for a full operation. They enable us to refine our preparation and give confidence to your clients. We've waited a long time for this. We never imagined that it would take this long, and we never imagined that we could survive with such a lengthy shutdown. But we have all persevered. As hard as it's been, we in the travel and tourism industry have gone 9 months under the hardest possible conditions. We still have months ahead of us, but the dawn is approaching. After all this time, it's hard for us and for each of you to contemplate having to wait still longer. As I said before, it's hard to think that the sun is coming when you're in the middle of the storm, but it is. Although the first cruises will be later than we expected, the resumption of cruising will ramp up faster and be more robust. The range of possible outcomes has narrowed, and the resumption of normal life is now more clearly in view. We can see that the spring and summer are coming, literally and figuratively. We have had to find ways to work together to get us to that exciting time. I'm thrilled to think about how strong that resurgence will be and how quickly we will get back to the robust market we were enjoying just a few months ago. As we enter the holiday period this year, it's tempting to focus on leaving behind a terrible 2020. But I think we should concentrate on remembering our blessings, which are so bountiful, and wishing for better for others. I hope you all have a great holiday and that your new year opens with promise and resolve. Now, remember, it's more important than ever that you wear your mask and wash your hands.